Was that smoke? Oh shit. And I like the fact that it feels chaotic. Because everyone's being a hooligan. Dude, the way Jin and Jungkook hit that groove, it's just so satisfying, bro. Y'all already know what it is. It's Jarrell. And we got the dance practice to Hooligan. This is one of my favorite songs from the album. And I'm so glad that they released the dance practice. I am so excited to react to it and break it down for you guys. And we already know BTS is fire. So there's no more time to waste, and let's get to the dance practice. I'm ready for BTS and their dancers to pop off. Let's go. Ah shit, here we go. Was that smoke? Oh shit. Yo, the way they expanded that formation. I always like seeing big formations too. And I like the fact that it feels chaotic. Because everyone's being a hooligan. J-Hope. Oh my god, bro. That triangle formation, dude. Oh my god. Oh shit. Yeah, the way they block this, it's so fun to watch. Oh, here we go, here we go. Dude, the way Jin and Jungkook hit that groove, it's just so satisfying, bro. The cheering, dude, it's hype. It like brings that much more energy too. Ooh. Oh my god. The ripple effect. Oh shit. Yeah, RM section might be my favorite part, staging wise. Because that was fire. And the way they revealed them in the five in the back. Come on now. Oh my god. Yeah, I need to see y'all live. You guys already know. Let's go and break it down. And if you guys didn't already know, this is one of my favorite songs from the album. I have been listening to this. Anyway, let's get it. So, I do want to talk about what we see here. And just super quick, these are really for the stage they will be performing on. So that's why they're there. I'm sure a lot of people know that. If you didn't, that's why the tape is there. That's for the markings of the stage, so you can get an idea as a performer what you'll be doing, or where you'll be going, and where you can't step off, step on, things like that. I can't unsee Jin doing the mask part. Anyway, this caught me off guard, this very beginning part with J-Hope, right? So I don't know if they showed it in the music video. I might have to go back to it, but the fact that they used a smoke, and I don't know if it was like vapes or whatever it was, but just to have smoke come out like that is such a cool way to introduce just this heavy bass that you hear in the song along with J-Hope. Like, that's so sick. And it's a simple formation. It's nothing too crazy. It's just windows, and it's pretty condensed to have everyone just really be around J-Hope for the smoke part. I like that idea because I don't think the smoke effect would really read that well if everyone was too spread apart, but I really like that. It's a strong starter, mainly because of the heavy basses and the smoke. But the reason why this is also a strong start is the way they hit that bass in the very beginning. It's harder to hear in the dance practice, but if you've listened to the song a lot, you'll know that it comes on pretty strong. The reason why this effect also reads well is because they're condensed, but they hit this bass in the very beginning of the song very strong, so it really sets the tone of the entirety of the dance practice and or performance. Love it already. Let's go. Yeah, bop, 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 bop. Like, dude, super simple, but it sets like, oh, like so yeah, so we already know J-Hope has this insane stage presence, and my eyes always gravitate towards him when it's just him being center. But let's talk about the formation, and let's talk about all the way back here after the smoke part actually. So what's cool with this super small moment right here where J-Hope is going to have, I believe this is going to be his left arm, because, you know, we're looking at them. Okay, okay, you guys get what I'm trying to say? Fuck, BTS, dude, they always make me stutter every time I make reaction videos on them. Anyway, the way J-Hope is going to hit this is he's going to do the original choreo, while the rest of the dancers are going to highlight and or accent that move to make that entire effect, or the visual effect of the formation, just read that much better. So he does something differently because he's center, obviously, while all the dancers are actually going to do choreo that's in that direction, just to make that move pop out much more. And this is the advantage of using and utilizing a bigger formation, or just having a large number of dancers. So how you see how he grabs his head and he just pulls it over, and while all the other dancers just follow that direction. Boom. That's so sick. Something super simple that I really like to point out whenever they don't overlay dance practices with music is the cheering from dancers. The way they hype each other up along with BTS is what makes the energy really contagious. So when I'm watching this, as I'm watching this actually, I'm gaining energy just due to the fact that they're cheering each other on. And that's what I love about dance practices sometimes, where you get to see this type of connection between not only BTS, but the dancers as well. But let's go and talk about how super simple groove right here, but they're using the yelling to create power. So I do want to talk about the way they expand the formation. The reason why it feels so overwhelming and chaotic is because it's supposed to feel that way. When they expand it and you're hearing all these footsteps and they're not technically clean while they expand the formation, they're all kind of doing something different. And the way it's supposed to make us feel, it's like, again, overwhelming, because the title of the song is Hooligan. What they're trying to do for the performance is to make it feel that way, which is why there's a contrast between BTS and the dancers. The dancers are essentially doing all the hooligan movements, or like the crazy chaotic atmosphere, to contrast BTS. And I love that because it's like, oh shit, like there's so much going on, but at the same time when you watch BTS, they're cool, calm, collected. There's going to be, I'll point out more moments, but let's keep going. I like this like little scrolling effect that they do. It's very small, but they move the formation over, and that way J-Hope can actually leave while we get more of the members actually walk back on. And it looks like they're kind of gliding a little bit, but it's only because the dancers are covering it up while they move over to leave stage. They use that choreo, or this like hanging move that they do, and they're actually going to use the footwork or the walking part of that choreo to move everyone over on the stage. Hey! And what I really enjoy about this entire thing and the way that this is staged is how everyone can be very spread out, but also very condensed at the same time. I'm just gonna let it play real quick. So I am going to talk about that entire sequence that just happened right there. All right. This part, starting from here, okay? I'm going to explain how it makes me feel and why it makes me feel that way, right? And why it also might make you feel that way. So the reason why it's staged like this, and I did mention this in the beginning of the video or the beginning of the breakdown already, is that the song is titled Hooligan. And again, I don't really necessarily know whether or not the performance director slash the choreographers intentionally made the choreo this way and also staged it this way. I always like to assume that it is intentional because there's always some sort of concept or theme in terms of performing a specific song. The point of that entire sequence is to just feel chaotic. It's supposed to make you feel like, whoa, what's they're approaching me, oh, everything is going crazy, there's just so much going on, right? With the dancers, it's because they're hooligans, bro. That's the simplest way I can give it to you guys. And so now I'm going to point something out too, is that when you watch BTS and the dancers, you'll see the contrast between them. BTS is actually, in this case, in the dance practice, the way their choreo is set up and the way that I see it so far is that their choreo is intentionally more clean. And it's also less energetic. It's also a lot less explosive compared to the dancers. And this is the contrast between them. So when all the craziness is happening, when you watch BTS, they're not even they're walking through the formation. They're doing some nonchalant type of shit where they're really using the character to perform. And they do have choreo still, but at the same time, what I'm trying to point out is the contrast between them. And I love it because what I want to emphasize is the term called controlled chaos. They're the controlled part while the dancers are the chaos part. Come on! So it feels overwhelming, but that's because it's supposed to be. And then I will give you guys, so J-Hope's part, right? So there's the clean part. And when I say clean part, it's really just getting everyone to do the same choreo and having to do the same details and making sure everyone's looking synchronized, right? So we're here, we're getting all this chaos, right? Out of nowhere, boom! Everyone sets. Everyone's going to essentially do the same choreo, right? Even the dancers here doing now the same choreo versus everyone running in and just kind of doing chaotic movement. It's still chaotic movement compared to what BTS is doing. What I'm trying to point out now is that they're doing something that's not necessarily going around stage and running around and doing more freestyle type of movement. Now we actually have choreo that's meant for them to be highlighting J-Hope here. And what's cool that J-Hope does is that what the dancers are doing is that they're doing their original choreo, and then essentially what J-Hope is going to be doing is kind of his own personalized version of that choreo. And you'll see that he does it obviously very differently from the dancers, but he still has those same textures and same details for like how they want to do the grooving part of it, the rotation of the arm, and all that good shit. Dude, this is gonna be a long video. And we got all the cheering and shit. See, you see how now we're at the chorus of the song, we're a little bit more on the cleaner side, except maybe the laughing part. So let's go to the very beginning of the chorus. The cheer, I love the cheering, bro. This, I always really like triangular formations where there's a bunch of people in one formation. We got the triangle, but what's cool here is that we get levels. Now, all the dancers are going to have a lower level to obviously highlight BTS, while BTS is gonna stay up to have the higher level because it gives a dynamic to the formation and it gives dynamic to the formation without actually having to move the formation. And obviously they're going to be doing their own choreo while the dancers are going to be highlighting the way they do their choreo. We pop out, bop, bop. So what's cool here, I think this is wordplay, or like they use the lyrics to actually pop out of the formation while the dancers use that move where they're raising their arms to move back. So we pop out, and now they pop out of the formation. That's fire. Something simple though, nothing too crazy. And then we get back to the chaos on that laughing part, because the laughing is the crazy part, right? Like, I can't even do the laughing part. Ha ha ha, I can't. But it's meant to feel crazy. I can't even make the laugh. I learned this. I could not make the laughing part look cool. I'm not gonna lie. I think there's a cool effect that they do here. They watch this. One half of the formation is gonna go and jump and throw, and then the second half will do the same thing on the second watch this. See how we get back to more of the chaotic movement from the dancers now? And then when you watch BTS, they're really setting into their formations, but they're just nonchalantly walking there. They're really using their persona and their character of the song to contrast that. I have been repeating this in the entire video. I like this part because he's gonna go and b-boy around him. And it creates more chaos, right? It creates more chaos. Like, it's cool. It's so sick, dude. So Suga's part is one of my favorite parts that I'm seeing now is how they actually scroll in or like get the dancers on stage. They do this, they're all connected, and they do this groove where I think they imagine like a string and someone's pulling their hips to go first to get on, and that's how they're doing this movement right here. There's that weird pulling movement, and their head kind of goes last in that movement. And this is funny because you have, as a dancer here, you have to fully commit on this character part where you're staring at Suga the entire time, and you know, it's like you gotta be in character. And I would also feel like Suga probably, I think it was in an interview, who might have talked about this formation, and he felt awkward because like the dancers have to stare at him. The part of the lyrics where he goes, dum, dum, the dancers here are actually going to follow the way that is, the way that's being sounded. I don't know if that made sense, but with their heads here. Something simple. Take you out. What's the future? What the now? I love this part because this is so satisfying to watch Jin and Jungkook just groove on that part. This is a groove that's always used in dance and always used in choreography. And if you guys ever want to just have some sort of dance move, like learn this. Learn this. You can do it to almost any song, bro. For the future, what's now? This is... And I love the fact that BTS is the contrast to the Hooligans, even though they are hooligans too. I just love the fact that their choreo isn't chaotic like the dancers, because we get that balance. Like, that's so sick. Okay, dude, RM section, bro. RM has so much aura, bro. My God. Alright. So I love this section. This might be my favorite section of the dance practice, is the way they stage this, okay? The way they're using the syllables of RM's verse and the bases of the song to create a nice visual effects actually for the entire formation without changing a bunch of the formation. It's one formation, but with, you know, multiple effects. So we already know that RM has a lot of aura and stage presence. If you know, he could really just be up there by himself rapping his verse, but I love how the dancers really add to this, right? So let's talk about it. So it's now a lot easier to actually see how the formation is. I did talk about this in the music video reaction, but now I could explain it more in depth. So in the first part where he says yeah, they all raise their heads, right? So what's cool with that small section, they're following that cadence of the way he raps. We gon' mess and I gotta mop here. Part of the dancers are going to hit this pose on where they're almost they're folded in half, and then the rest of there's a section of the formation where they push the other dancers that are folded back up on that lyric. Ooh, dude, okay, I just have to replay it just so it's easier to see, because the way that I explained it, I don't think really made any sense. Yeah, here we go, Got my here. Yeah, so my here. And then for the next part, where they're gonna do a ripple effect on all those basses that you hear in the song, the series of basses. So what's cool with this is just the really fast ripple effect that really hits all those basses, and just how they do it. It's just very precise because the basses are fast. So ripple effects read if you can get the counts down with your dancers or the formation. They do it with their heads first. Oh. And what's cool is that you hear that pa, pa. So this formation, or this part of the formation, they're following the lyrics, and then this part of the formation, they're following the ah. So I'm going to replay that entire ripple section. Okay, one more time. Mop here. Boom, boom. Oh, and then he says one. The way that they really use that entire lyric of just one to fill that movement up. Nothing too crazy, but I love how they did it. See how they're patient with it. It's not like they cut off the movement. They use that rotation from their bodies to really fill out that lyric. And then the cheering or the yelling, that's so sick. And then I just realized they just came out of the back of the formations, bro. Come on. This is a long, dude, I'm so sorry, guys. I talk so much. Oh my god, that's so sick, bro. That's actually so sick. And the way the rest of the members are hiding behind the formation, and then the hiding or the laughing in the song is another ripple effect for all the dancers to eventually reveal the members that are in the back, but they use a simple ripple effect to just do a nice reveal. That's so cool. Watch this. Yeah, so now when you watch BTS in this dance practice, you'll notice that a lot of their choreo is really meant for them to aura farm, be nonchalant, and play around with the character and stage presence. Like, I love that shit. That was such a fun dance practice for me to just break down and talk about. I feel like my dance reviews are getting longer and longer the more I do them, just because there's so much to talk about, right? Yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed this dance practice review. Let me know if you guys learned something new, And if you're a dancer, you know that, you know, this is all fun to do. My final thoughts on this dance practice is I love the contrast between BTS and the dancers, and how the dancers feel much more chaotic, whereas BTS is more nonchalant, less energetic, to really keep that balance between the two, right? And I like how it's staged, a lot of condensed formations, but there's also a lot of spread out formations as well. It's a really good balance to really keep you entertained throughout the entire thing as you watch them perform this in the dance practice or an actual performance. So yeah, I obviously love this dance practice, and I'll see you guys in the next video.